I look at a picture of my mother and I remember her. I see myself in her dark hair and dark eyes, and in the way she throws back her head and laughs, that deep laugh that sometimes comes from me. I look at my father. I see my father getting up before dawn, taking me fishing, packing the big 88 Oldsmobile with long fishing poles and with a box of Vienna sausage and saltines and boiled eggs and an orange to eat later on. And I remember my grandmother rocking in her big chair and reading her Bible out loud as she did every day. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Bless the Lord, O my soul, all that is within me. Bless his holy name. The very same Bible that somehow I received when she died, long before I had thought about becoming a minister. I remember all these things, and I know that I have been greatly blessed. I have been loved. My work with Wendell Berry made all the difference in the direction that my life took. I saw him one day in the hall there at the University of Kentucky where he taught, and I said to him, "You changed my life, you know." And he said, "No, you changed your life. I just asked you to use words well." So people have stories, and these stories come from many sources, and they come to define what we see as the self. One of those important sources is our religious tradition. Every tradition has its saving story, and so does Unitarian Universalism. As most of you know, in our faith, we find truth where we find it, and we draw from many different traditions. For Unitarian Universalists, God is one. We don't find our God separate from or superior to the God of other traditions. Light comes from many different sources, we believe. We believe that a person's true theology is revealed by how that person lives in this world, what you do with your money, what you do with your time, how well you love, what kind of compassion you show for those who are marginalized among us. Not that we're saved by works, but we're surely not saved by theology or what we believe. Well then, what is our saving story? That is most clearly articulated by the Universalist part of Unitarian Universalist. Universalism tells us that everyone with no exceptions, everyone is welcome at the welcome table. Universalism tells us that God is a God of love, not a God who punishes people by throwing them into a fiery hell. There is no hell except for the one that we make for ourselves on this earth, and we're pretty darn good at doing that. Universalism tells us that the color of your skin, your sexual orientation, your gender, your mental or physical state, your social class, or your theology, that none of these qualities, these very human qualities, make you ineligible for God's love or make you ineligible to come into this community of believers. Universalism invites you to leave behind the cultural story that you are the sum of your possessions, that you must be young and beautiful if you want to be loved, that white is superior to dark skin, that being gay is somehow less than being straight. Universalism says to each of us, no matter what your story has been, you have worth and dignity. You are lovable and you can love. Universalism says that no one is beyond forgiveness, is beyond redemption, and that there is a love that is large enough to hold you in all of your contradictions of character, is large enough to hold you in your despair when you think all is lost. Here at First Unitarian, that's our story. We invite you to be a part of this story as we ourselves heal and as we help to heal the brokenness in our world. Yes, that's our story. It's a true story, and we're sticking to it. So be it. Amen.